What is up, you guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys with Dallas Stewart on the speakerphone. Dallas, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, we went 8-6 last week, had a perfect afternoon slate in the Sunday night game. That saved us from a sub 500 week. We ended up going 8-6, but thank God for that perfect afternoon slate in the Sunday night game. Saved us from sub 500.
Yeah, it did.
Now we're on to week 6 of the NFL season, of the 2023 season, and now we bring on the week 6 picks. First off, starting us off on Thursday night football, we got the Denver Broncos going to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Broncos were in a tight game with the New York Jets, but ultimately Russell Wilson fumbled it away and Bryce Hall scooped it up for the scoop and score because of Quincy Williams pulling that perfect strip. And meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs were in another tight battle against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota, but managed to pull away at the end 27-20. That was a surprisingly good game.
Yeah, it was another kind of struggle win for the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs have had a lot of struggle wins lately.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, they're taking on Denver, and Patrick Mahomes is still undefeated against the Denver Broncos. I know, and I even said this way before the season, just because the Broncos got Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, that still doesn't change the fact as long as Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are in the division, the Broncos ain't doing nothing. And I think that continues. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs to take care of business Thursday night against the Denver Broncos. I'm taking Kansas City.
Yeah, give me Kansas City to get to 5-1.
Yep. And all right, up next, we're just going to go ahead and start with our game first for the 10 a.m. slate. Grant, we know there's a London game with the Ravens and the Titans, but first we're going to go start with our game. Coming off of the bye week, we got the Seattle Seahawks going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Bengals looks like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase got back on track and got the mojo going again as Joe Burrow hit Jamar Chase for 3 touchdowns against the Arizona Cardinals. And they were looking a little iffy in that game, but that pick 6 after that turnover on downs on that failed Joe Mixon 4th and goal run that got pretty much bailed by the defense. The Bengals they look like they're getting their mojo back. And the Bengals, when you get a Bengals team that freaking is getting their mojo back, that's a scary time to get them.
Yeah, they're still trying to turn their season around.
Yeah, I mean, they're 2-0 against their only 2 wins so far have been against NFC West opponents. They beat the Rams earlier this year, and now they just came off of a 34-20 win over the Arizona Cardinals. And now they get us, which we looked pretty rusty on offense. And the defense, pretty much, we're coming off of our bye week, but before that, coming off of what arguably was our best defensive performance of the year against the New York Giants, which I was there, and obviously sacking Daniel Jones 11 times and getting that huge pick 6 with Devin Witherspoon. Having Devin Witherspoon back is going to be key. I think he is going to be the one-on-one matchup with Jamar Chase, or that might be Tariq Woolen. But what is the status of Charles Cross? Because we don't know when we're going to get Charles Cross back. Maybe this could be this week. I'm hearing some news about Charles Cross, but I'm not going to take this Bengals team lightly. That's for sure,
Neither am I. They're desperate to try to get back to 500.
And right now they're just 2-3, and their only 2 wins have been against NFC West opponents. And I'll tell you what, if we really want to beat Cincinnati, there's going to be some keys to this one. 1, we got to get pressure on Joe Burrow and sack him and force some interceptions. 2, offense, you got to score points. We got to score a lot of points. We only put up 14 points because the defense scored the pick 6 that had made it 21-3 before. Obviously, Myers getting that late field goal to make it 24-3, which ended up being the final. You got to shut down Mixon. You got to one-on-one. You got to cover up Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. We don't know the status of T. Higgins yet. Is T. Higgins still going to be out, or is he going to be back this week?
I'm not sure. I think it was a couple weeks he was going to miss.
Yeah. Cincinnati, it's like when they get hot, I'm not sleeping on Joe Burrow for sure, man. This is going to be a very tough game. And, but I hope I'm wrong on this one, but I kind of got to lean towards Cincinnati on this one. Knock on wood. Think I'm going to go Cincinnati here, but Seahawks, show me something big this week. Grant, I know we're coming off the bye, which it was a much needed bye week to get rested, but we're going to have to really bring against Cincinnati. I'm leaning slightly towards the Bengals a little bit in this one, unfortunately, because they are favored in this game too.
Yeah, give me Cincinnati as well, and hope that I'm wrong.
Yeah, knock on wood. I hope that we're wrong on this one. But, when Joe Burrow gets hot, especially that was a get hot game he had against the Arizona Cardinals for sure. Granted, the Cardinals did hang around, but ultimately at the end, like I said, they were able to pull away and win that game 34-20, thanks in huge part to a pick six that they got too, but mostly due part to Jamar Chase having that hat trick.
Yeah.
Hope we're wrong, knock on wood. But that's just the way I'm feeling right now, because I'm not this Bengals team, when they get hot, they can become very, very dangerous.
Yeah, they can.
All right. Going back to the start of the early morning slate, we got the Baltimore Ravens going to London to take on the Tennessee Titans. The Ravens choked away that game to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They looked awful once they got that touchdown, and when they made it freaking 10-0, they just couldn't get anything going.
No.
Or was it 11? I can't. It was
10-0.
Yeah, 10-0. It's like after that, then the Steelers got the safety in those 2 field goals, and then they got that key red zone interception, and then Kenny Pickett was able to hit George Pickens for that huge touchdown to make it 14-10, and then later they got a field goal to make it 17-10, and ultimately ended up winning that game. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans, man, the Titans last week, man, freaking whew. Titans lost a close one to the Indianapolis Colts. They were hanging in there a little bit with the Indianapolis Colts, but granted, they did knock Anthony Richardson out of the game, and Gardner Minshew was able to get that job done and finish it. The Tennessee Titans, man, they're still having that iffy of a season, man.
Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde. And Ravens, we can say the same thing. Jekyll and Hyde as well. This is a Jekyll and Hyde Bowl in London.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to bounce back in this one, but this could go either way because both these teams are Jekyll and Hyde, but I'm going to slightly lean towards the Ravens in this one.
Yeah, give me the Ravens to bounce back after that really tough loss at Pittsburgh last week and hand the Titans consecutive losses for the first time this year, because the Titans have alternated wins and losses so far.
That they have, for sure. All right, up next, we got the 0-5 Carolina Panthers going to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins, who just absolutely dismantled the Giants, aside from a fluke pick six that they threw, which pretty much the Giants' first half touchdown of the season came on a fluke pick six, man. That 102-yard pick six return, which was pretty crazy to react to on red zone, but let's be real, Dolphins. You were playing the freaking Giants, and you got another cupcake this week. This is my first lock. Give me the Dolphins just to punch the Panthers to 0-6.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins in a lock and keep it rolling. Yeah, they have another really easy game this week.
Yeah. Ooh, all right, up next, we got the New Orleans Saints going to Houston to take on the Houston Texans. The Saints just absolutely annihilated the Patriots. I am not picking the Patriots again for the rest of the season until they play the Giants. I am not picking them.
Even then, I think I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, we absolutely whiffed on that one, man. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans, man, absolute power struggle. Lost to the Falcons in the final seconds because they got held to all those field goals. Granted, they did get that big touchdown, but you left too much time on the clock for Desmond Ridder, and Desmond Ridder's still undefeated at home in his career for the Atlanta Falcons. This is gonna be a big test for CJ Stroud going against that Saints defense for sure. And for that sake alone, I'm gonna take the New Orleans Saints to go into Houston and get another win on the board for them. I'm taking New Orleans.
Yeah, give me the Saints to get back-to-back wins and get to 4-2 in the NFC South.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Washington Commanders going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Commanders got smacked by the Chicago Bears on Thursday night last week. That was an absolute surprise. And meanwhile, the Atlanta Falcons just hung in there and managed to pull out that last-second win at home against the Houston Texans. Desmond Ridder looking good at home. Bijan Robinson is looking good for the Falcons, and Atlanta's just on a roll at home, man. They're just killing it so far this year.
Yeah, they are.
Kind of a surprise team for
at least at home.
At least at home, not so much on the road, but they're fighting. Washington Commanders, man, I'll tell you what, they looked absolutely terrible against the Chicago Bears. But Chicago, I gotta give them props. They wanted to win that game for for freaking Dick Butkus after the passing of Dick Butkus, and what a way for them to get on the win board and that and get off the schneid. But man, Commanders just looked awful. And you know something? I think they're going to lose back to back here. Give me the Falcons to get another win at home and keep Ritter's undefeated streak at home still going. I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, give me the Falcons to hand Washington their fourth straight loss after starting 2-0. The Falcons have just played really well at home for some reason this year.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, how in that 2012 season when we first had Russell Wilson and we went undefeated at home with Russell Wilson, we were playing home all the way up until that one loss to Arizona for Russell's first home loss in the year that we won the Super Bowl, you know, granted his rookie year, we went undefeated at home. It's kind of like that with Desmond Ridder. Surprise, surprise. You know, every start he has, every start at home, he's won.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Indianapolis Colts going to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Colts barely squawked it out against the Tennessee Titans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars just manhandled the Buffalo Bills in London. First team in history to win back-to-back weeks in London, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are fighting, and they are keeping a strong hold on the AFC South. And I think that continues. I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to complete the sweep of the Indianapolis Colts. Give me the Jaguars.
Yeah, give me the Jaguars to get to 4-2 and take sole possession of first place in the AFC South and to get the sweep.
They look like
of Indianapolis.
Yeah, they look like they've bounced back ever since losing to the freaking Houston Texans. And then their other loss was to who else did they lose to again?
What was the other loss? Oh, Kansas City, but
that's
it was
right.
Close.
KC, that's right. They did lose to Kansas City. That's right. That was week 2 that they lost to KC.
But it was close.
Yeah, it was close. All right. Up next, we got the Minnesota Vikings going to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears. Bears, that was a great win you guys pulled on Thursday night against the Washington Commanders. A great way to honor Dick Butkus, who passed away on that day, unfortunately. God rest his soul. Rest in peace to that legendary linebacker. Chicago born, drafted out Illinois. Bears drafted them out of their own backyard, and boy, did it pay dividends back in the day for them, man. And meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings, man, in a tough battle against the Kansas City Chiefs, ultimately falling to 27-20. Justin Jefferson going to the IR. It's an unfortunate blow for the Vikings offense. Now it's just Addison and KJ Osborne on that offense for the receiving core. Alexander Mattison had a pretty decent game in that game against Kansas City, but that's a tough blow losing Justin Jefferson, but you're lucky that you're playing the Chicago Bears, and that's why I'm taking Minnesota. Even without Justin Jefferson, I think they should take care of their business against Chicago. Give me the Minnesota Vikings to go into Soldier Field and take care of their business and get the dub. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, give me Minnesota to get their second win, and for the Bears to have a little bit of a letdown after that big Thursday night win to get off the schneid last week.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the San Francisco 49ers going to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are coming off of their bye week after getting beat down by the Baltimore Ravens with DTR at quarterback. And the San Francisco 49ers just kicked the absolute dog crap out of the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Like we said, that game pretty much saved us from a sub 500 week in our picks in week 5. Give me the 49ers to get to 6-0. They're just rolling right now, and they're looking like the best team in the NFL right now. Like I said, I think the only team that's a legitimate threat, though, to beat the 49ers so far, I would definitely have to say is the Philadelphia Eagles, though. But I got the 49ers rolling the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland.
Yeah, give me the 49ers to keep it rolling. They just look like the most complete team in the NFL right now in all 3 phases. They are just clicking on all cylinders. Look like legitimate Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, got to admit that for sure. All right, up next, we got the New England Patriots going to Las Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. We all know what happened last year. These two teams faced each other.
Yep.
And the Raiders just squeaked out a Monday night win against the Green Bay Packers at Allegiant Stadium. Thankfully, Carlson missed that kick, but the defense ended up bailing them out when the Packers offense had that chance to go downfield and get a game-winning touchdown to potentially win it 2017. But Jordan Love went all out on it, threw it, and got picked off in the end. And the Raiders were able to escape at home against the Green Bay Packers with that 17-13 win. And meanwhile, the Patriots got shut out at home by the New Orleans Saints 34-0. Patriots, I hate to say it looks like you've entered the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, that ain't gonna freaking
I can't remember a Patriots team being this bad in my lifetime.
Probably not since when we were either before we were born or we were just little kids.
Yeah.
Give me the Raiders to take care of their business at home and get another win against the Patriots. Give me the Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders to get their second straight and get back to 500.
Yeah.
The Patriots are just really bad.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Detroit Lions going to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are coming off of the bye week after pretty much taking care of their business against the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions absolutely lived up to that lock of the week against the Carolina Panthers, and they just won that game with absolute ease. Detroit is rolling. Dan Campbell has that team going places this year. I gotta say, they got a stronghold on the NFC North, and I think it continues. Give me the Detroit Lions to take care of business in Tampa.
Yeah, give me the Lions to go down to Tampa and get to 5-1. I do this could be a good game though. But I like the Lions in this one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I like them a lot better. All right, up next, NFC West rivalry. We got the Arizona Cardinals going to SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams. The Cardinals got dropped by the Cincinnati Bengals and Jamar Chase's hat trick and Joshua Dobbs throwing that costly pick six. Meanwhile, the LA Rams were in a close battle at home, but Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles were just a little too much for them.
Yeah.
I'm taking the LA Rams to get a win at home against the Arizona Cardinals and bounce back from that tough loss. And I think the Cardinals, I mean, I give them props for hanging in there for what they're playing with. But, you know, Rams having Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua out there on the field, that's a big time offense right there, man. We found that out week one, where even if it was just Puka Nacua, granted the Rams didn't have Cooper Kupp, but now Cooper Kupp being back, things just got a lot tougher. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Rams as well to get back to 500. I just can't see them losing this game.
Nah. All right. Up next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles going to MetLife Stadium to take on Zach Wilson and the New York Jets. The Philadelphia Eagles, like we said, it was kind of a little bit of struggle, but man, did they come out and just take care of their business, squeaking out that 23 to, they won that 9-point game, that 23-14 win over the Los Angeles Rams in SoFi Stadium. Jalen Hurts, man, a couple of crazy plays that went their way, that A.J. Brown catch with that freaking horse collar penalty and then the freaking PI, but Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts rolling the dice with 2 seconds left in the first half and getting that big touchdown to get back on top of them, and they just didn't let go of the lead ever since then. Meanwhile, the New York Jets, coming off of that big win in Denver against the Denver Broncos, with Quincy Williams making the biggest play of that game when the Broncos had a chance to go downfield to either tie it or win the games. Quincy Williams strips Russell Wilson, and Bryce Hall takes it to the house to pretty much punch in the dagger. But, you know, this time you're taking on the Eagles team. You're taking on one of the best teams in the NFC, and yeah, you're not going to win that one. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, give me the Eagles to stay undefeated. Man, how much hype did this game lose after Rodgers went down?
A lot of the hype. But
this was going to be probably one of the marquee matchups of week 6. It's such a shame.
But still, at the end of the day, Nathaniel Hackett still got the last laugh over Sean Payton.
Yeah, they made Sean Payton eat his words.
Big time, man. Without Aaron Rodgers, they still made him eat his words for sure. All right. Really? Why the hell is this a Sunday night game? You got to be kidding me. We got the New York Giants going to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. Giants are just an absolute train wreck. I do not take back anything I said or take back dumping on them so hard, especially after how some of their fans were in that Monday night game that I was at, man. Bitter, salty, butthurt is how I describe some of their fans. I mean, I know good Giants fans, but some of the ones I was around from, salty, bitter, and butthurt as hell, man. Give me the Bills lock of the week.
Yeah, give me the Bills. Second lock of the week. They are going to be pissed off after playing a really not very good game against Jacksonville in London. A lot of mistakes. Get the Giants off of prime time. That's 4 out of the first 6.
Yeah, they're too garbage for prime time.
Get them off of prime time. This is going to be another game that's probably going to be over early in the second half.
Maybe even the first half. God damn, man.
It's probably going to be over at half. You're right.
It'll be over at half. The Giants are ass. All right. Last but not least, we got Monday Night Football. We got the Dallas Cowboys going to LA to take on the LA Chargers. Cowboys got the absolute dog crap kicked out of them by the 49ers. Meanwhile, the Chargers are coming off of their bye week. And what happened with them before the bye week? Then they get that. Oh, yeah, they beat the Raiders, and Khalil Mack had 6 sacks in that game. Yeah. Ooh, the Kellen Moore revenge game now that Kellen Moore's the OC for the Los Angeles Chargers. And the Cowboys pretty much have a lot of injuries on their freaking defense. Losing Trayvon Diggs was huge, and they just looked like they were hurting, man, for real. Ooh, man. But you know something? This game is going to be a very interesting one. What do you think on this one, Dallas?
Yeah, I expect the Cowboys to play a lot better than they did last week. I don't think you could play much worse.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. This is, but man, Justin Herbert.
Cowboys are going through a tough part of their schedule right now.
Yeah, they really are, man. But if Khalil Mack is back to the deck, he could eat, and he was eating in that game against the Raiders a couple weeks back.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Chargers based on what I saw from the Cowboys last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm slightly leaning towards the Chargers as well. Khalil Mack was feasting, man. He was just feasting on the Raiders. Granted, they did win that game by 7, but I'm taking Chargers due to how good the defense is. This game could go either way. Depending on which team shows up, but I gotta take the Chargers on this one.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, and there you have it for our week 6 picks. We got the Chiefs over the Broncos, the Ravens over the Titans in the last London game. We got the Dolphins over the Panthers. We got the Saints over the Texans, the Falcons over the Commanders, the Jags over the Colts. Knock on wood. Hopefully our Seahawks can prove us wrong.
I guess a superstition pick.
Yeah, but Cincinnati, it's like they get a hot. They're a dangerous team, but we unfortunately lean towards Bengals over us, which hope I'm wrong. Superstitious pick, but hopefully we can show out and get Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet going early in the running game. But yeah, like I said, knock on wood, hope we're wrong. Just because we pick against us, that doesn't mean we want us to lose. We hope we win, and you get what we're saying. They all get what we're saying. But we got Vikings over Bears, 49ers over Browns, Raiders over Patriots, Lions over Buccaneers, Rams over Cardinals, Eagles over Jets, Bills over Giants, and Chargers over Cowboys. And that's our week 6 picks. Let's see if we can do better than that 8-6 mark. Thank God for that perfect afternoon slate last week that kept us above 500.
Yeah.
But definitely hope that we're wrong on our game, though. So,
we don't care if it hurts us pick wise. We want to be wrong in that game.
Yeah, for the Seahawks and Bengals. But going to Cincinnati, that's going to be tough, especially if Joe Burrow just is getting hot again. That's for sure. And having Jamar Chase
sounds better than 3-2.
Yeah. All right. Dallas and I are going to sign off here. Drop your picks in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notification, and we will catch you for the post-game recap. Catch y'all later. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks.